I am live. Let's see if it's working. Boop, boop, boop. Hello, test, test, test. I think we're good.
Hello, test, test, test.
Yep. All right, cool. Hello, everyone. My name is Heather Ramirez, and today I am kicking off a new show here on this YouTube channel. I'm not sure what it's going to be called yet, but if you're new to this channel, my name is Heather, and I'm a YouTube coach and consultant. And I wanted to start a live stream video podcast because there are a lot of things that I want to talk about when it comes to growing a YouTube channel and building your brand on YouTube that I want to explore a little more in depth. So the reason why I'm choosing the live stream format is because it would just be such a pain to edit these longer form videos. So that's why I want to do something that's just like, I kind of just talk about on a live stream, and it's here cataloged for you guys to look back on at any time. So you can expect these video podcasts or these live stream replays we'll go live every Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. But they'll, like I said, they'll be here for you guys to kind of reference whenever you need. So if you have any ideas for what I can call this, please let me know. But like I said, this is going to be kind of a weekly YouTube coaching session. So I'd love your input if you have any questions or kind of topics that you want to explore more in depth. I have a lot of ideas and I'd love to hear your input as well, because obviously this show is for you guys. I want to see you be successful. And that's kind of what gave me this idea, was that a lot of my clients and customers and audience people, they're kind of struggling with a lot of similar issues. And so that's why I wanted to dedicate just more time to kind of unpacking these and talking about best practices of how to kind of, navigate and what people are seeing success with and stuff like that. So that's the whole premise for the show. I would also like to, I'm also calling it a podcast because I want it to be something that you can consume on the go. So obviously it's video because I figured I'm video, so it should be video, but I also want it to be something that you can just listen to. So I'm not going to be doing any screen shares. You're not going to be seeing anything visually aside from myself talking into this microphone. So if you are catching this as a podcast because you're on the go, you're at the gym, you're on your commute, whatever it is, welcome and thank you for listening. So with that being said, let's jump into the first topic of this show, which is how to build a business using YouTube, how to use YouTube for business, how to promote your services and products using YouTube, how do you get more inbound leads, how do you do marketing through YouTube. Basically, you have a business, you have products and services that you want to promote using YouTube. You know that YouTube is a great source of, or can be a great source of organic leads. You've seen a lot of people have success using YouTube as a way to get people introduced to their brand and then basically monetizing off of that audience through whatever various products and services. And you want to know how you can do that and how you can make this whole thing work for you. So that's what I kind of want to talk about and unpack today. And if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the chat because I'm peeking into the chat here. So let's get started. The first thing, a lot of my clients and customers are entrepreneurs, actually. A lot of them are small business owners, independent creators, and eventually, even if some people aren't necessarily sure about what they want to sell, eventually, people want to monetize. We want this to be a business endeavor, right? But I think the first thing that you need to do when you're trying to use YouTube for business is that you need to have a good idea of what you're trying to sell. If you don't, then you can definitely just start building an audience and provide value in the form of education and helpful tutorials and insight and perspective and all of that. But I think especially like if you're trying to increase sales and grow your business, you do need to have an idea of the thing that once you get the audience, what are you going to pitch to them? How can they take everything a step further? How can, if someone wanted to, take the next step or get to the next level, what is it that you're going to offer them that they are going to have to pay for, right? So I think you do need to have an idea of that. And I think, like, even speaking from my own personal experience, um, I I because I was so new to this, I kind of it's not that I necessarily went backwards, but kind of. I built the audience without having something to sell first. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I think, like, if your primary goal is like, if you already have a business model, then this is a yeah, firmly believe that YouTube is the best source of organic traffic. It's the best way to build connection, to interact with your audience, to engage with your audience, all of that, because I mean, the experience of being on YouTube versus any other platform is so much more engaged. So, anyway, you should definitely have your services and product in place. And I think that that's everything from your branding needs to be clear. You need to have a sales page or a landing page that has all of the copy and everything that gets people to buy the thing that you are going to offer at the end of the day. So basically, the whole blueprint of this is to start with the end and go backwards, right? So if your goal is to sell services, book appointments, schedule consultations, let's say, okay, then you need to have the gateway to make that transaction, right? So we're backwards planning, right? You need to have the gateway for them to book that appointment or to buy that thing. Then you need to have the page where that gateway is. Then you need to have, um, you know, the email sequence that cultivates them from a cold to warm audience. And then you need to have probably the freebie to enter into that email sequence, because no one's going to sign up for a newsletter. People are done with spam. They don't need more spam. And then you need to have all that set up so that you can basically enter them into that funnel, so that it's all just kind of part of the natural process. So when it comes to using YouTube to promote your business and to grow your business, you really need to kind of work backwards and make sure all those pieces are in place. Otherwise, you can have a bunch of subscribers. You can have 100,000, a million subscribers. But if you don't have anywhere to take them to, then you're not converting them into what we really want, which is customers and clients, right? They're again, you can totally build an audience and cultivate them and get them primed so that when you are ready to offer, launch your course or whatever it may be, they're kind of already primed. But I think, to really capitalize, you want to have the pieces in place that is just kind of a natural flow for the customer purchasing journey, right? So if you think about it, YouTube is really just another form of inbound marketing. But the thing I love about YouTube is that each one of your videos can serve as an asset that kind of keeps on giving, right? Your YouTube videos, depending on the content, can really serve as kind of evergreen tutorials and sales methods that continue working as long as they are on YouTube. I have plenty of videos that even 3 years later still get views, still get searched, still bring new people to my channel. And that's the beauty about YouTube, because, even with people I follow on Instagram, I'll see something, I'll forget about it, but then, like, something will come up and I'll remember it. But one, usually I'll forget, like, whose account I saw it on. And two, I'll get to that person's account, maybe. And then, like, I won't be able to find the post. I won't remember, was it a story? Was it a post? If it was a post, maybe it was an old post. So now I have to go, like, scroll. There's no way to search the content, all of that. Whereas on YouTube, because it's, the foundation of it is a search engine, it's so easy to be able to find the content on someone's channel that you want to actually watch, and you watch over and over again. And you can create your own playlist. Like, the viewer can create their own playlists of your content, and they can revisit and all of that. So that's why, if you spend time and effort, which you will, because making videos is not easy. But once you do that, each one of your videos can seriously serve as this, like, full-time marketer working for you as you are sleeping, as you're hanging out on the weekend, as you're doing, going about your life. You have this full-time person who's kind of doing the marketing for you, getting people to discover your channel for you. They really do and can serve as assets. Now we can, we'll save the discussion on how to optimize your videos so that they do that for another podcast, because that in itself can be its own topic. But I do want to emphasize the fact that this is why YouTube can be so powerful, because each one of your videos can serve as an asset that keeps on giving and keeps on bringing new people and cultivating your current people to your channel and your brand. So if you think about, each one of your videos being kind of like the first date, right? So someone is searching for something on YouTube that has something to do with your business, and they discover one of your videos. You can see that as kind of like the first date, right? The first interaction between you and your brand, the first connection, the first touch point, what have you. It would probably be too forward to just make the sale right away, right? This is a proven thing. We have to cultivate. It takes multiple touch points. We have to warm up the audience. We have to connect with them. We have to build trust. We have to interact. We have to engage, all of these things, right? So that's where it's really crucial for you to have multiple videos, especially if you can plan your content so that they are all related, right? Or sequentially related. Like if you make a video on the very first step or the most common question that you get when it comes to your industry or your business, then what's the logical next step? Do you have a video that discusses that next step? So now people are not only watching one video, they're watching 2 videos and 3 videos and 4 videos, and they're spending time, they're hanging out with you. They're spending time with you, they're getting to know you, and they're getting free value from you without you having to do it directly, because you've already made the videos and now your assets are working for you, right? So now someone has watched 1 video, 2 video, and you're having these multiple touch points. Well, if we want to take this relationship to the next level, what are we going to do? The best thing, especially when it comes to, building an online audience and selling products and services online, is to get these people into an email sequence. And I'm sure you've heard this before, but if you haven't, I'm going to break this down for you. As much as YouTube is the best, and each social media platform has its strengths and weaknesses, you do not have the ownership of an audience like you do if you have their email addresses. Okay. So, for example, if you want to post something because you want to connect with your audience on Facebook and 500 people are following your page, that doesn't mean that all 500 people are going to see that post, right? You know that. It's the same with YouTube. Just because someone is subscribed doesn't necessarily mean, you could be subscribed to 100 channels. That doesn't mean that you're going to see all of the content from all 100 channels. But with your email, you don't have to pay to boost. You don't have to, like pay for exposure. You get to have a one-on-one interaction with your customers and clients and potential customer and clients directly in their inbox, like a one-on-one intimate personal conversation. And that's what people want, right? They want genuine connection. So that's why I suggest not doing a newsletter in the traditional way of like you just giving announcements and, there's just so much content in your email. I think it's a best practice to write your emails as if you are writing to a friend, right? You would treat your audience like they are your friends, because people still like getting mail and email. It's a delightful experience. But as soon as people sniff just a little bit of spam or any kind of scent of a sale, boom, delete, right? But we're trying to establish relationship. So that's what that email sequence allows you to do. And you can do whatever you want with your email sequence because you own it, right? YouTube owns your subscribers, Facebook owns your followers, all of these things, but you own your your email database, and you can take it anywhere. So that's why it's really important to be able to have ownership of your audience. So your email sequence is like super important. That I think that's definitely the next logical step. As in, like, if people watch a few of your videos, they're ready to take the next step and take the relationships to the next level, you know, they can sign up for your mailing list. Now, most people are not going to sign up for a mailing list if you do not have something that you can offer in exchange for their email, right? I think some people, like, depending on how good of a connection they've already built from watching some of your videos, then maybe they'll just sign up. But I think most people still need another incentive or a reason as to why they need to sign up for your to give you their email address, right? So, um, a best practice for this is to have some kind of a freebie, right? Have some kind of downloadable thing, whether it be a guide, a quiz, a fact sheet, you know, uh, a template, something that logically will help move the needle for people, provide value for people in exchange for their email address, right? So for me, actually, if you guys want to learn how to grow your YouTube channel, get more views and get more subscribers, I have a free YouTube action plan that you can download at sharesparkmedia.com in exchange for your email, right? So these are actual tips, 12 tips, proven tips that if you implemented these tips, you will see growth on your channel. I consider these like kind of actually foundational. Like if you don't have these, then for sure these are the reasons why you are not seeing growth on your channel. And that's all free. You can just sign up for that and get it for free. And then it's behind a wall where you have to put in your email address. And then once people give me their email address, they kind of go into the sequence where I'm able to cultivate and continue connecting with them, moving the needle for them, helping them achieve their goals, helping them achieve small wins, hanging out with them. Like this is another opportunity where they can get to know me on a more, personal basis, right? Since I'm going straight into their email box. So it's, imperative that you have this kind of exchange. It can't just be one email. You can't like give the freebie, have them sign up for your email sequence, and the first email that you send is a sale. Like obviously they're just going to unsubscribe. So there needs to be that whole cultivation aspect, and I will refrain from jumping into that because that's not necessarily my expertise, and that can honestly be another podcast on its own. But you want to have a sequence of emails that's strategic, that's intentional, that's purposeful, that has an overarching narrative of basically developing that relationship with your prospective client or customer, educating them on not only the thing that you sell, but kind of like helping them understand that you understand what they are going through, so that you're building that trust again, and eventually, of course, showing them how you can help solve their problem, how you can provide a solution to the thing that they're struggling with through your product or service. And that is a whole orchestrated dance on how to be able to do that through email. So it, like I said, it could be its own podcast, but I think that's the next logical thing that you need to have to make sure that you're using to really capitalize on using YouTube for business, right? And then once you have that, like once you're providing value and all of that, like I said, the final piece of that puzzle is to now go and actually purchase your product. And this is where you should have your gateway, your transaction process, like all of that needs to be as smooth and seamless as possible, tested, the user experience is great, so that now it's just a matter of the next logical step after going through all of that is to actually purchase from you, because that trust is there. Everything is easy. There's no roadblocks or obstacles at any point of the process for the customer or the client, and it's just all seamless, and it's all exactly as you promised and conveyed from the very beginning of them being introduced to your brand, right? Because everything about your brand should be reflected at every single point of the customer journey. So, I think if you're thinking about using YouTube for business, actually, if you're thinking about growing a YouTube channel in general, it doesn't matter if you're just using this for business purposes or for, to promote your products and services. But I think every single person who's building a YouTube channel needs to be able to answer these three questions to really see growth. Like if you don't have a clear idea of this, then viewers won't either, and it just falls apart. It'll be hard for people to actually recognize whether this is something that they want to subscribe to. So the three questions are: what is your content about? Who is your content for? And why should they subscribe? Like you need to be able to answer those three questions very clearly and convey that through everything on your channel, not just through your videos, but through your channel banner, your channel description, your thumbnails, your branding, your look and feel, your colors, your identity. Like all of that needs to convey in some shape or form those three answers to those three questions, which is: what is your content about? Who is your channel for? And why should they subscribe? Right? Especially that last one. Why should someone subscribe to your channel? Because if you want them to come back for more, like what is the more that they're supposed to come back for? Right? Um, there needs to be, like, you need to have an idea as the creator of a greater purpose. Like what is the greater purpose in either your viewers' mind, right? Like what are they overall trying to achieve that you are a part of that journey? Or what's the bigger purpose of your channel? Like why should someone have to watch multiple videos? Why should they care? Why should people care? With all the options that are available, like why your channel? Why your content? And if you, like I said, if you're not clear about these three questions, then no one else is either. People who are watching your content, people who discover your channel, however they get to your channel, if the branding, like if those answers are not clear, you want it to be so clear that people who are not in your target audience should be easily, like they should easily be able to tell, like, oh yeah, this channel isn't for me. And that's not a bad thing, because you're not trying to get everybody's. I mean, as an entrepreneur and a business owner, you know this. Your product and service is not for everybody. You know that you've tested your product and service knowing that it's for a specific type of person going through a specific type of life event, or they have a specific goal. There's something that kind of unites all of your potential customers together. And that ideally is also who the audience is that you're trying to target, right? So, like, if your channel is about how to make a better resume, I would not be in your target audience because I'm not trying to look for a job. But that doesn't mean that there aren't people who are trying to apply for their first job, who are trying to, get promoted, who are trying to look for a position with higher pay, like, or whatever. Those people exist, obviously, but it needs to be so clear, either yes or no, that this channel is for me or not, right? It needs to be super clear for you, and it needs to be super clear for, obviously, the people who discover your content. And once you have that, it's really a matter of just putting the pieces in place where, again, your YouTube video serves as assets that are cultivating the relationship between you and your potential customers, even while you're sleeping. Because that's the beauty about YouTube, is that people have on-demand access to your brand. They can discover your videos at any time, in the middle of the night, 2 months from now, 6 months from now, 3 years from now. Your videos can keep working for you. And so that's why, I firmly believe in the power of YouTube. I think it's so, every channel that has promoted services and products that I know of has seen success, has seen some kind of increase in their sales, because it's so effective. It's hard to build videos, or to create videos and to build your channel. But it doesn't take it doesn't take a lot. I think people would be surprised as like, you're not trying to be a YouTuber. You're not trying to be get a million subscribers. You're trying to build your business. You're trying to increase your sales. You're trying to get more customers and clients. You're trying to promote your products and services. And you don't need a lot of people to really move your needle to achieve that goal. You just need you need an engaged audience. And if you could be really clear about that message, then YouTube ends up doing the heavy lifting for you. Because the way that YouTube works is a search engine and its whole algorithm thing, I really do believe that it will work in your favor, because if your content is good and you're confident in your content moving the needle for your target audience, then YouTube has a vested interest to actually connect your content to these people, right? Like, if those people actually want to watch it, why wouldn't they show it to those people if it's going to keep them on YouTube longer? If it's going to keep them coming back to YouTube for more every single day because you have that much good content, right? And the content is only good for a specific group of people who are going through a specific thing in their lives, a specific situation or circumstance, or they like I said, they have this specific goal. They're trying to apply for a job. They're trying to learn how to cook. They're trying to build their brand on YouTube. They're trying to start a business. They're trying to make a website. They're picking up a new hobby. They're trying to develop personally or develop professionally, whatever your YouTube channel is and whatever thing that you're trying to provide. You can help people do that when you're very clear about your mission, and people can understand what that is just from 5 seconds to 10 seconds of being on your YouTube channel. So that's pretty much it. That's, I think, just kind of the foundation. Obviously, like, there are a lot of components of this equation that we can explore more in depth. So I'd love your feedback. If you are listening to this, watching the replay, let me know what part resonated with you, what you'd like me to explore in depth, or if you have any ideas for future content for the next episodes, let me know in the comments. But again, really what it comes down to is working backwards, right? If you have your services or your product that you want to promote to grow your business, who is your target audience? Making sure that you have, everything seamlessly integrated for the customer experience in terms of being able to actually book with you or convert or fill out that transaction, having your sales page that's cultivated, that's, intentionally designed. And then you have your email sequence where you're cultivating people again. And you have some kind of freebie so people can sign up for your mailing list. And then, of course, you are regularly crunching out your content on YouTube, making sure that all of your content is as good as you can make it, so that you're actually thinking about your YouTube videos as assets that'll keep working for you for as long as they are on your channel. And if you treat them, they are going to take some time and effort in creating, but if you see them as investments, if you see them as assets that are going to keep working for you for as long as they're on your channel, then I think it'll be easier to kind of approach like, okay, yes, this is going to take potentially a couple of hours of my week, but it'll pay off, right? It'll pay off in that people even 6 months to a year from now will discover my brand because of this video, because of every video that you create. And then the last thing I want to reiterate is making sure that if you're growing a YouTube channel, you're trying to build a YouTube channel, trying to build a brand, you want to be clear of these 3 questions, which is, what is your content about? Who is your content for? And why should they subscribe? Convey the answers to those 3 questions in every single piece, of content that you create in every aspect of your YouTube channel, so that it's really clear, not just to you, but to anyone who discovers your channel, whether your channel is for them. So that wraps up the first episode of this live stream video podcast. If you are just tuning in, my name is Heather Ramirez. I'm your YouTube coach and consultant, and I will be here every Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time doing this live stream video podcast where it's basically a live coaching session to help you build your YouTube channel and grow your audience. So I love your feedback. Let me know. And also, if you want to get my free YouTube action plan that breaks down 12 steps to optimize your channel for more views and subscribers, you can download it for free at sharesparkmedia.com. I have a link in the video or in the description underneath this video. And that's it. So hope you guys found that helpful. Let me know what you think in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Catch you guys later. Bye.